I want to tell you a little story about the warrior. Vira means friend, and Bhadra means like hero. Vira is hero, and Bhadra is friend. So hero, friend. And the story is that Shiva is in a rage, and his wife Sita has been killed. I won't go into the long story of it, but he cuts off one of his dreadlocks and throws it into the ground, and uprises his hero friend Virabhadrasana to take vengeance, to revenge. So even from that point of view, this is a act that happened on the celestial realm. It's the ancient myth. And so the warrior goes off to seek revenge. And that's basically how the story goes. And the poses Virabhadrasana 1, 2, and 3 represent the hero friend, the warrior friend rising up from the earth. Here's warrior 1. And warrior 2 is the warrior taking aim. And the warrior 3 on the balance pose is then he takes destruction on the enemy. So again, it's quite a gruesome story. So I'm just getting the highlights of it. But there's also a sense of compassion that happens after. So Shiva is saddened by the wrath of the warrior and goes to make amends. So we can also take it, and many people interpret this as our own spiritual warrior battling with our egos, our jealousy, our false perceptions as we move through the world. And I love it that only recently the peaceful warrior has been added to the series. And that will be our focus. Yes, we'll go through the other 3 to arrive there. But I love the idea that a peaceful warrior is still a warrior and is very grounded, centered, but has a sense of openness and a willing to negotiate. So that's it. Let's just come to a comfortable seat and bring the hands together and rest the thumbs on the chest. Relax your shoulders. Sit up nice and tall in whatever way you like. Bow your chin and either gaze down or close your eyes. And as you begin to notice your breath, begin to invite a sense of grounding down through your hips and expanding and lifting your ribs, relaxing the shoulders. Your head is buoyant. Every day, every moment, we embody the warrior, the spiritual warrior that battles our false perceptions, our jealousies, our egos. So we can take a lot from this story and begin to incorporate and embrace the peaceful warrior within. Release your hands. So as we know, the warrior series calls upon quite a bit of hip opening. So for us to get there in a way that feels rather acceptable or expansive to us, let's do a little bit of hip opening laying down on the back. And if you're curious about more information about Virabhadrasana and the Warrior series, there's many words that you can find about it online. If you just Google it. You can also contact me if you want to know a little bit more, some sources that will give you the whole story, the mythology around it. So as we arrive in constructive rest pose, take a moment again and bring your right knee up towards your chest. Reach up through your right heel and point and flex your foot. And again, the Warrior series take the ankles and the feet in some interesting positions, and we call upon the feet as our foundation in those poses. So we want to bring a little bit of movement there. And bend your right knee back in towards your chest. If you have a yoga strap, find it. And hopefully you do, and if you don't, it's okay, you can still do this just fine. So reach up through your right heel. Make a loop around your hands, walk your right hip away, and extend your left leg. So in a way, this is a lovely warm-up for us as we get into the hamstrings in the back of the right leg and the hip flexors in the front of the left, and relax your shoulders. Bend both knees a little bit and press up into the strap. Take about 3 deep breaths, and we can incorporate a little tiny flow even here by bending the knee, the right knee a little bit more, and hold that. And when you inhale, press your foot back up into the strap, but be careful not to lock your knee. And then exhale, soften. And let's do one more of those. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, release. Relax your shoulders down, neck is neutral. Bend your left knee and bring your left foot to the floor. Take both straps into your right hand. Open your right leg. You can keep your left knee just pointing straight up or open it out to the side. Another option is to keep your left leg long. Open up your left arm, drop down through your left hip, and take just a moment to expand through the inner thigh. So again, a nice, sweet, and kind way for us to warm up the body for those big standing poses. Bring your right leg across and back to center. Bend your right knee and bring your right foot to the floor. Bring your left knee up and flex your foot and point and flex a couple times. Draw some circles, anything that calls to you. And bend your knee a little closer and find the strap now for your left foot. Glide your left hip a little away from your belly. Relax your shoulders. Extend out through your right leg. Center your right heel. Rotate your right thigh in a little. Bend your left knee. So again, if you'd like to incorporate a little minute flow into this movement, Supta Padangusthasana, inhale, press up a little more into the strap. And exhale. Let's pull back a little from that. So again, we're keeping the knee a little bit bent the whole time. Inhale, press. And exhale, soften. Let's do one more just like that. Inhale, press up and out with both of your feet. And exhale, soften. Now again, the option is to keep your right heel heavy, right where it is, or bend your right knee and open it to the side. Take both straps into your left hand. Take your right hand up on top of your hip bone and open the left leg and go nice and slow. Move your left thigh a little away. Relax your shoulders. Wiggle your shoulders apart and bend your left knee a little bit. Press out through your right foot, but lift your right knee. Take a moment, take a nice deep breath. And when you're ready, pull the left leg up, bend your right knee, and right from here, we'll take the strap off the foot, keep it flexed, but rotate the left thigh, bend the left knee, and bring your ankle bone across the top of your right thigh. Align your right heel with your right hip. So as we envision Virabhadrasana 2, the stance for that, there's quite a bit of an outer rotation of the thighs. So this is a nice warm-up from the floor, supine. From here, decide if you're going to keep your right foot on the floor, lift it up for a block, or bring your right knee up towards your chest. So 3 bus stops. And you know this if you've been in any of my classes, how we get there. Keep your right knee aligned with your right shoulder. Keep your left thigh moving gently away. Let that left hip sink deeper into your hip socket. And enjoy a nice deep breath. And when you're ready, if your foot is lifted or on a block, bring it back to the floor and join those of us who have stayed with the foot on the floor. And we'll take the right knee open towards the right for a moment. Draw your left thigh a little away from you, flex your left foot, and just come even part way. Just nice extension of your left thigh away from your belly. And slow and easy, come back up to center. Take your left heel up again and point your toes. Do a couple circles again and bend the left knee and reach up with your right foot. Flex your right foot and rotate the femur bone, toes, ankle out. Bend your right knee and bring that ankle bone across the thighs. Square up your hips. Align your left heel with your hip. Move your right thigh a little away from you. And just decide at this moment, take a pause. If you're going to keep your left foot on the floor, just like it is, you can also lift it up for a block to slide under to go a little bit deeper. Or you can bring your knee up right over your hip. So again, find your way. Take a few breaths. Keep that right foot flexed and the right thigh moving away just a little, but not so much that the pelvis torques, nice and solid, across your low back as you pause. Take another deep breath. Release any tension from your jaw and from your hips. Takes a while. And if you have your foot on a block, or you have lifted your foot off the floor, bring it down nice and slow. Join those of us who have kept their left foot on the floor. And we'll open the left knee towards the left. And you can go just a little, but go in with your inquiring mind. Watch and witness your body. Go just to your edge. And every day it's different. Maybe today you just go a little bit, or maybe you go a little bit deeper. Move your right thigh a little away from you. Keep your right foot flexed. And when you're ready, come back up. Extend up through your right heel. Point your toes and do a couple circles. Bend your right knee and bring your right foot to the floor. Pause. Swish both of your knees towards the left and turn your head to the right. So in our warrior, primarily Virabhadrasana 2, there is a little rotation of the chest. So as you drop your knees towards the left, press down a little more through your right shoulder and shoulder blade, and turn your head towards the right as you look out past your right fingertips. Draw your belly in. Inhale your knees up and your face up. And then exhale, take both of your knees towards the right. Extend your arms. Press down through your left shoulder, your shoulder blade. Look out past your fingers. Take another deep breath. And draw your belly in. Come back to center and do just a little mini sway from side to side. Roll across your low back. And from here, we'll roll to the side and make our way up to table pose. Hands and knees. If you have a blanket that you like to cushion your knees with, have that ready. Move all your props away, your straps, etc., so you don't get tripped up on it. And again, the Warrior Series takes, especially Virabhadrasana 1 and 2, will take the ribs into a little bit of rotation and a bit of a back bend. So it's a kindness we do to ourselves to a little warm up for that. So spread your fingers, knees hip distance apart. And as you inhale, round up into your cat. And as you exhale, pull your heart forward. Now, at this place, lift your belly. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Have your neck nice and long so you're not looking up or back, slightly forward. So again, inhale, cat. And exhale, cow spine. Continue to inhale and round up. and exhale, cow spine. So as we continue with this, take it a little deeper. As you inhale, then you arch, and then just pause right there and wait for your exhale to release your heart and to pull it forward. And then create a little pause right there at the end too. And then again, inhale, start your cat back. So this takes it a little bit deeper into a bit of a moving meditation. And every one of us will start to move at a little bit different tempo when we do bring the movement and the breath together. So invite your breath in to lead you. Arch into your cat. Take a little pause, a moment of stillness, and then exhale your heart forward. Lift your belly. Complete your exhale, nothing left. And then let your inhale take you into your cat. Pause. And your exhale into cow spine. Come back to your table. Take your right leg back and tuck your toes under. Look at your toes pointing towards you. Draw back with your heel, but bend your knee a little bit. Press through the top of your left foot to take some pressure off your knee. And then lift your right heel. Rotate your thigh a bit, lift your belly. If you like, also extend your left arm, thumb up, ribs up, crown of your head pointing forward, sunbird. Exhale, bring your hand down and bring your knee into a cat back. Inhale, kick back out. Raise your arm if you like, or just stay with your leg lifted. Lift your belly. Bring your hand back down. Exhale, knee in. Square up your hips. Last one. Inhale, press out. Flex your foot. Draw your little toe down a bit. Lift your belly, crown of the head forward. You can also extend your left arm if you like. This is a nice warm-up for the balance pose, Virabhadrasana 3. Release your toes, bring your knee in. Walk your knees a little wider if you like, or keep your knees right aligned with your hips and sink back for a moment in your version of child's pose. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. All of these asanas, these movements, are getting us to our warriors in just a few moments. So not to worry about the warrior. And then pull up. Now extend your left leg and tuck your toes under. Keep a little bend to your left knee as you pull the heel back. Square up your hips. And our warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1, the stance of it creates quite a bit of pull for the back standing legs. This, again, is a nice warm-up. Press through the top of your right foot. Lift your heel. Now don't lift it so high that you sway your back. Draw your belly up and in, your ribs in. Reach out. And a little rotation of your toes to point straight down can be helpful to align your pelvis. So again, you can just do this and then knee in to a cat back and kick back out, or you can also extend your arm. Exhale in. Inhale out. Let's do one more of those. Exhale in to a cat back. And inhale, extend. Bring your hand down, your knee down. Walk your hands a little forward or your knees a little back. Tuck your toes under. Inhale your hips up and press back into downward facing dog. Look at your hands. They're as wide as your shoulders. Spread your fingers. Pull into the base of your thumb, your index finger a little bit more. Bend those knees. Swoop your tail up. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. Lift your belly and your ribs. Keep pushing with your hands to create some length in your spine. And bend your knees so the hamstrings release their pull on your low back. And then let's walk our dog. So bend your right knee and release your left heel. And again, lift your left heel and release your right. So let's do that a couple more times. Keep pushing off with your hands. The inhale, the exhale. So it becomes nice and slow and mindful. Inhale and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. Lift both of your heels. Now drop your knees so that your shin bones are parallel with the floor, and bring your heart forward into a bit of crouching tiger. Pull your belly in, and then again press back, down dog. Exhale, bring your knees forward and hover as you draw your heart forward. Lift your belly, crouching tiger. And again, inhale, cat back, down dog, different animal. And then exhale, crouching tiger. Just let those knees hover. Pull your heart forward, lift your belly. Last one, downward facing dog. Come forward into plank. You might need to wiggle your toes back, lift your belly. Bring your knees down if you like. Point your elbows straight back and bring your heart to the floor. Exhale. Come on to the top of your feet. Bring your elbows in. 3-part cobra. Push down with all of your fingers. Inhale up. And exhale, return. Let your forehead touch. And again, inhale up. A little bit higher. And exhale, return. One more. Inhale up, push down. Keep pushing into your belly down back bend, and then up onto the knees and back into your version of child's pose. And take a few breaths there. When you're ready, you can come up to stand through downward facing dog again. Or if you like, you just come up onto your knees, take one foot forward, fingertips to the floor, tuck the back toes under, lift the knee, lift the hips, and then step up. So lots of ways to get there. Find your way. We'll all meet up the top of the mat. Knees a little bent. Sink a bit more into your heels. Crisscross your wrists with your palms up. Stack them. Push down with your feet and rise up. Like the phoenix rising. Inhale. And exhale home to your heart. Unlock your knees. And again, release your hands. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, come home to your heart. And release your hands. So let's revisit the warrior Virabhadrasana 1, 2, and 3 briefly before we get there, and the addition of the peaceful warrior. And yoga can become a physical expression, and we can move things through us. We can, as we talk about the battle, the constant spiritual warrior, the battle of the ego, of jealousy, of resentment, all those things, we can move through those through our yoga. So the first one, Virabhadrasana 1, is when the Vira, the hero, rises up from the earth because Shiva has thrown down his dreadlocks to bring up his warrior friend. So as he rises up from the earth in Warrior 1, this is him rising up out of the earth and bringing his sword up. And then as he gets ready, he shifts into Warrior 2 and takes aim. And then his Warrior 3, here's his sword, and he takes his revenge. You can float your foot or keep it on the floor. But we're going to add that lovely coming back into Warrior Two, floating our arm up for compassion and this openness, expansiveness, and the way to express our vulnerability, but still really being strong and grounded through our foundation. So there's a lovely metaphor there. So let's release. So let's begin to explore those a little bit deeper. So come to the top of your mat if you're not there already. Come to your mountain pose. Hands on your hips. Bend your knees a little. And let's just step back with the right leg. And look at your feet, heel to heel alignment. Now, for many of us, I'd say most of us, the pelvis is at an angle. And for Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1, it's more faced forward. So adjust your back foot, rotate your back thigh, bend your front knee, and bend your back knee a little bit. So for many people, the Warrior 1 stance is a little narrower than the Warrior 2. Relax your shoulders. Bring your hands to your heart and create the temple mudra with just your index fingers pointing up. As best you can, draw your right hip a little forward, your left hip a little back. Adjust your feet. You can make them a little wider apart. Lift your belly. And then maybe today you're not ready to rise up with your sword. You can keep your hands right here. Or bring them up out of the earth. Lift your heart. Square up your hips. And embody your warrior self. Exhale, bring your hands home to your heart. Hands on your hips. Transition to Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So for many people, a little bit wider stance, heel to heel alignment, still the back toes turned out just a little bit. And we bend the front knee. Lift your belly. Bring your hands to your inner thigh, just so we can rotate the heart without the knee moving. Take your left arm out, reach, right arm, or vice versa, and look out past your fingertips. So this is you taking aim. Look at your fingertips, sometimes called the dristi, that soft focus. Roll your shoulders down, lift your belly. Draw your heels a bit towards one another. Sink in a little deeper. And from here, we'll do a bit of a flow. So turn your palms up. Press through your feet as you lengthen your front leg and come up into a bit of a V. Exhale, press down. Now bring your hands to your heart in front of you. Square up your shoulders. Anchor through your back heel. Spread your toes. Inhale, open. And again, look out past your fingertips. Turn your palms up. Inhale, rise up into a V. Rotate your heart. Exhale, bend the knee. Bring the hands home to the heart. So again, reach out. Look at your fingertips. Inhale your palms up. Lengthen. Square up your shoulders. Exhale, bring your hands home to your heart. Bend your front knee. Push down with your feet. Come up. Walk your feet in for a moment. And come into your mountain pose. Bring your hands at home to your heart as we pause. Bend your knees. Release. Take your wide stance again for the other side. So we'll start with our Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. So as you remember the story that goes along with it, as we step back now with the left foot, heel to heel sort of, and then for Warrior 1, many people like to have a little wider stance. So walk your right foot over a little, adjust your back foot, bring your hands to your hips, and bend that back knee a little as you rotate your thigh in as best you can. So you might not get your pelvis squared up, but perhaps the shoulders can come forward. Bend your front knee. This is a pretty deep stretch for that hip flexor. Bend your back knee, lift your belly. Draw your inner thighs towards one another. Embody the warrior stance. Bring your hands to your heart in that temple mudra. Stay right here with this if you like. Or inhale up. Bring your arms alongside your ears. Lift up with your heart. Raise your sword of love. Exhale, bring your hands home to your heart. Hands to your hips. We'll transition to the warrior two stance. Front knee bent, over the heel, lift your belly, and level your pelvis out this way. Square up your shoulders. A little bit of a rotation there. Open that knee. So again, we'll just float your arms up, and look out past your fingertips. So again, take aim. Soft gaze upon your fingertips. Take a moment. Ground down through your feet, float up through your ribs, relax your shoulders. And when you're ready, turn your palms up. Press down through your feet, lengthen your legs, and bring your arms to a V. Now be careful here, don't lock either one of your knees. And exhale home to your heart. Bend your front knee and extend out through your arms again. Take aim. Inhale your palms up to the V, lengthen your leg. Bring your hands together and exhale home to your heart. Do that one more time. Come into your warrior stance. Level out your pelvis. Inhale, extend. Look out over your fingertips. Relax your shoulders. Bring a little more weight into your back heel. Last time. Inhale up. Lengthen your leg. Bring your hands together. And exhale home to your heart. So as we transition to variations of Warrior 3, this is the part of the story where after rising up with the sword and taking aim with the sword, they now chop with the sword. So again, it's a standing balance pose. It's a little tricky, so I want to give you lots of options. So let's start by standing again. And since we were just on this side, let's go ahead and step back a little with the left foot. Now look at your toes pointing straight ahead. Square up your hips. And so if you have a wall close by, this could be helpful, or a chair. And as you transition the weight to your front foot, float your back leg. Here's the sword. Like that. So the way I like to do it is to just have the toe touch, bring your arms up, ribs down, and then just lift a little. You don't have to go all the way. And toe touch, and bring your hands back home to your heart. So again, have some kindness, some ahimsa, no harm. And we think, how does ahimsa, no harm, meld itself with these brutal warrior stories? Well, we can think of them more like a metaphor, as our own spiritual warrior, balancing our day-to-day emotions and egos. All right, so Warrior 3 on the other side. So when you're ready, come to your mountain pose, roll your shoulders down, and now step back with your right foot. So I want to again give you lots of options for this balanced pose. Rotate your back heel, so it's almost like a pyramid pose, and then come up onto your toes. Square up your hips. If you have a wall close by, it could be handy. Bring your arms up. Here's the sword getting ready to go in this direction. So again, just go slow. And again, maybe you're just starting to tip, starting to lift, like that. I'm going to move back a little bit. So there's many variations of this pose, and if we're sticking with the story, the arms are extended. Bring your foot back down. You also might like to bring your hands to that temple mudra and see if that gives you more of a focus. So let's try that. Float your arms up. Bend your knees, ribs down. And step back with your foot. Rotate your thigh, toes pointing straight ahead. And start to lift your back heel. And come into your warrior three that way. Again, yogi's choice. Some people like to have their hands behind them, like wings flying, and play. And then come back to stand on your mountain pose. Bring your thumbs in front of your heart. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, is the doorway into peaceful warrior in many practices. So that's how we're going to get there. So we'll transition back to our warrior 2 stance with the feet parallel. So back in the day, I used to teach this as a 5-day series. We would do warrior 1 on one day, 2, then 3, and then a goddess and a peaceful on the 4th, and on the 5th day we put it all together. So getting all this information kind of compressed into 1 hour is challenging yet fun. Okay, so let's get back to our warrior. So I'm facing you, I hope, and I'm going to try to mirror you even though I can't see you. So lift up your right foot and rotate. Walk your right foot open and pull back just a little with your left heel. You know this, create your warrior stance. Bend your front knee, drop your left hip a little, but pull some energy into that back heel. Lift your belly. Try to get your spine nice and long. Wherever you are is just fine. Bring your hands to your heart again and start to already create the peaceful warrior. The strong warrior, but with an open heart. So reach out. Look at your fingers. Drop your shoulders. And then take your left hand to your left thigh and open your right palm. Inhale, scoop up. Let your left hand slide down your back leg. Draw your belly in. Become the peaceful warrior. Exhale back to warrior 2. And bring your right hand to your right thigh. Rest it there. And bring your left arm over into a little bit of side bend. Scoop your hip under your shoulder. Bring your ribs in. So let's do that again. Push down with your feet. Come up. Release your arm. Exhale into your warrior 2. Relax your shoulders. Inhale, float your palms. Exhale, bring your left hand down. Inhale, your right palm up. Exhale back, Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Relax your shoulders and reach. Take another breath. Exhale, your left hand to your thigh. Inhale, your right arm over. Ribs in. Skull back. Spread your toes. Push down, inhale up. And exhale, release. Back one more time on this side to Virabhadrasana 2. Bend your front knee. Hollow out your belly. Square up your shoulders. All those little things that we know, bring your hands to your heart. And as you inhale and extend with your sword, maybe at this point with your left hand you lay down your sword, and as you open up your right palm, this is your sign that you're open to negotiate. Exhale back, warrior 2. Bring your right hand to your thigh. Inhale your left hand over into a bit of side angle. Rotate your heart. Spread your toes. Press down through your feet. Rise up. And exhale down. Walk your feet into parallel. Just take a pause. Bend your knees. Roll your shoulders. Stand nice and tall. And we'll explore that same movement series on the other side. So rotate your left foot and pull back a little with your right heel. Heel to heel or slightly wider is fine. Bend your front knee, level out your pelvis. Pull back a little into your right heel so you're not hanging off this hip. Lift your belly. So as we notice in our warrior stance that we're grounded and solid here, but a little bit of a rotation of the thoracic spine calls to us. So let's open, look back, check in with the four corners of your feet. You're not collapsing out or in on that back foot. And then float up with your left arm, broaden through your chest. There you got it. There's your warrior. Beautiful. Stay with it. Now bring your left hand down to your thigh. Inhale your right palm up. Scoop up. Slide your hand down the back leg. Open your heart. Exhale back through warrior two. And then into side angle. So you can have your forearm down here or your hand. Reach. Rotate your chest. Bring your belly in. And when you're ready, push through your feet. Come up. Lengthen your legs. And then sink right back into your warrior. Hollow out your belly. Relax your shoulders. Bring your right hand to your right thigh. Inhale, scoop up. Peaceful warrior. Exhale right back to your Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Take aim. Bend your front elbow and extend. Rotate your heart. We'll do one more just like that. Push down through your feet. Inhale up. Exhale, bring your palm down. Let's bring the hands to the heart in prayer. Prayer for peace. Bend your front knee and level out your pelvis. Inhale, extend your arms. Look out past your fingertips. Relax your shoulders. Take a breath. Bring your right palm to your right thigh, outer thigh. Open your left palm. Lift up. Stay with it for another moment. It's a beautiful physical expression. Exhale back, Virabhadrasana 2, and then a nice side angle stretch. Rotate your heart, ribs in, reach. And from here, we'll do a little bit of a rotation into a high lunge. So begin to bring your hand towards the floor. Lift your back heel, rotate on the ball of the foot, bring your fingertips to the floor. You can also grab your blocks here. When you're ready, inhale, lengthen your front leg. Pull your hips back and your heart forward. Keep a little bend to both knees. Exhale the lunge. And inhale the length. Exhale the lunge. And inhale the length. Square up your hips. Bend your front knee. Pull your heart a little forward. Now let's walk the hands to the inside of the front foot. Keep walking. Lift your feet. Lift your heels. Rotate on the ball of the foot. Come forward into a forward fold. Wide forward fold. Create some symmetry now in your body. Pull your hips back. Walk your hands a little forward if you like. Release your head. Bend your knees. Take a moment. Notice your breath. And when you're ready, Begin to walk your hands now over towards the right foot. Lift your heels, rotate. So we're on the opposite side now, opposite lunge. Use your blocks here if you like, so it would look more like this. Get up a little higher. Yogi's choice. Look at your back foot, toes straight ahead. And as you inhale, lengthen your front leg, pull your hips back, keep a little micro bend to your knees. Exhale the lunge. Inhale the length. The challenge is to keep a little bend to both knees. Exhale the lunge. And last one. Inhale. Lengthen. From here, slide your front foot to your back foot, downward facing dog. And again, we'll do a little bit of crouching tiger. So from here, bring your knees down, but let them hover. Pull your heart forward. Kind of claw your mat, lift your belly. And then exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Let's go again. Come forward. Let your knees hover. Pull your heart through the gate of your shoulders. Lift your belly. Press through all of your fingers. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Last one. Bring your knees down. Pull your heart through. It's a little bit of a cow spine. Lift your belly. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. Float your right foot up. Bend your right knee. Lift your right foot towards the ceiling and stack your hips. Press through both of your hands. Look at your back knee pointing straight ahead. Bring your knee back down and bring it up to your chest again, a little bit of a rocket dog. And then kick back out. And bring your foot to the floor. Ready for the other side? All right, float your left foot. Bend your left knee. Lift your foot up and stack your hips. Bring your knee back down. Hug it into your chest in a little bit of a cat back. And then kick back out. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale the foot to the floor. Walk or hop your feet towards your hands or vice versa. Come into your forward fold. Bring your fingertips to your shin. Cup your calves. Bend your knees. Fold in. Inhale halfway. Lift up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, fold in. So in this way, we can bow to our inner wisdom, the inner wisdom of the spiritual warrior. And fold in. Exhale. Push down with your feet. Rise up. And bring your hands up over your head. Wiggle side to side. Bring your hands home to your heart. Roll your shoulders down and release your hands. Clasp your hands behind you. And if this is not available today, grab your strap like this. So just when you thought we were complete with our warrior, Virabhadrasana 2, we have another physical gesture that we can explore. And Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, all the warrior poses have actually evolved over time into a little bit different variances. And this is one that is especially lovely. If you think about the story and how we got to where we were. So take your feet wide. And let's lift up the left foot. And again, just set up your warrior stance. We've been here many times before. So remember the story. Vira rises up from the earth with his sword. Takes aim. Warrior 3 does his duty. Now, I love that peaceful warrior is sort of like a way for this assimilation so we can come into a peaceful place around all of that. But here's another way. humble warrior. So take your hands behind you and clasp them or grab your strap, roll your shoulders down, bend your front knee. It's a little bit of a combination of Virabhadrasana, 1, 2, and a lunge. So lift your hands and bow to the inside of your thigh. Float your hands up, draw your shoulders away from your ears. So in this way, our warrior becomes very humble and can bow to its inner intelligence, to its wisdom. And when you're ready from here, push down with your feet, lift your hands straight up, and release them down. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Pivot on your feet, hands on your hips. Roll your shoulders. So again, we'll float up with the other leg. So I believe for you, this is your right leg. Reach back with your left heel and bend your front knee. So another way to say it is the other leg. So still set up in your warrior. Relax your shoulders and just remember where you've been. You came up from the earth with your sword, rage, and then you took aim, and then you used your sword. So now we came into peaceful warrior, and now our humble warrior. So clasp your hands, draw your shoulders down, scoop your hip under, rotate your heart a little bit more. So again, a bit of a combination between warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1 and 2, and a bit of a lunge. So lean into the inside of your thigh. Lift your hands just a little. They don't have to go very high. Pull your shoulders gently away from your ears. Come into your humble stance. Bow to your inner intelligence, to the wisdom that resides within. Even though you're a warrior, push down with your feet, lift up with your hands. Release your hands to your hips, feet parallel. Walk or hop your feet in. Stand on your mountaintop in your warrior wisdom. Inhale up. Create temple mudra, just your index finger. Relax your shoulders, bend your knees. Inhale up, a little bit to the right. Exhale to center. And inhale up and over a little to the left. And to center. And bring your hands home to your heart. Take your feet wide again. I just want to introduce one more stance that is sometimes called a variation of warrior, maybe even warrior 4, would be the goddess pose. Depends on what school of thought you adhere to. So from here, with your knees open and your toes turned out, bend your knees right over your heels. Kind of lift your belly, but it's okay that your bum is sticking out a little bit. And bring your hands up to those cactus arms. Hollow out your belly. So if we want our goddess to also be quite fierce, then spread your fingers and lift your heels. It's pretty frightening, pretty fierce. And press down through your heels and rise up into star. Exhale, press. Shoulder roll up, back, and down. Bring your hands home to your heart. And walk your feet in. We'll make our way back down to the mat through my favorite, Utkatasana chair pose. Fierce pose. So it goes right in tune with our practice today. That in our corner of the world, this is called chair, because we sit in chairs. But the origin of it is Ukta, which means fierce. And it is a fierce pose to get into. So float your arms. Sit back with your hips. Back. Lift your belly. So when you look down, you should be able to see your toes and a little bit of the top of your feet. Draw your belly in. And when you're ready, exhale, find the floor. Bend those knees. Bring one knee at a time to the mat and kind of scooch around so your feet are forward. take a pause. Take a deep breath. And when you're ready, begin to roll yourself down. So you can take your hands behind your knee crease, walk your feet in a little closer, and slowly roll down. Take your time, control the movement, and bring your knees to your chest. Inhale the knees away, and exhale back in. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale away, and exhale back in. Now when the knees come in, bring your hands to the inside of the knees and wrap your fingers on top of your shin bones. Take your knees away from you so your arms are long but your shoulders are down, and open your knees wide. Kind of roll just a little side to side at first to settle in. Hold on to your shins so you're not pushing. And in this way, we invite balance and symmetry into the body. After all those really interesting explorations into asymmetry, take a moment and relax your breath in deeper to your body. Release it down. Move your hands to outer knees or stay a little longer. Help your knees up. Bring your feet to the floor. And for the classic Shavasana, we're going to take the heels out wide and release the legs. Take the back of your hands to the floor, palms up. If you like, you can slide a block behind the knees. This releases the low back a little, but we'll just be here for a while. So instead, as you rest in Shavasana, surrender the weight of your body to gravity and be held by the earth. So I invite you to come back to Shavasana after we sign off from class. But for now, if you're ready, bend one knee and the other. Roll to your side and come up to a seated position. If you have a blanket or a bolster to sit on, that can be helpful. Any way you like. So this is cross-legged Sukhasana. And since we've been playing quite a bit with Virabhadrasana, you can also come into a bit of hero's pose on the block. All right. Bring your fingers out. Float your arms up. And bring your hands in front of your warrior heart, your peaceful warrior heart. And let it radiate out into the world. Bow your chin and tip your pelvis. And in this way, we can bow to one another and yet still honor the light within. Namaste.